Hi guys, PSV versus Ajax 0-3. Today with me, Sahbi. Welcome. Thanks for being here, bro. Take it
Problem,
away,
man.
man. Think you have a lot to say, so go ahead.
A lot to say. Actually, I don't have a lot to say. It was pure dog shit. It was embarrassing. We lost deservedly. Terrible performance. It was shameless football. Lack of creativity. No fighting spirit at all. That worried me the most. No energy. No quality. No ball tempo. I mean, it was rainy. You would assume that you would get like a clear cut pass through the ground, but it was so sloppy. Uh, 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 None of the players none of the Ajax players were like standing out. Yeah, I mean, not even one player who was able to dribble past his direct opponent. It was just terrible. No chemistry. I can go on for hours, but it was just terrible. And we lost deservedly this game. We're third now in the league. Also, when you look at it, deserved. We didn't win any big game this season, and we should not forget we're still playing AZ, who are fourth. And if they win their game, they're only I think 2 points behind us, and they still gonna play against us. I already said it weeks ago. We should not look up for first spot because that was already a mission impossible. But we need to look down, and today it showed, and it was terrible. And mark my words, if we play like this, we will lose against AZ, and we'll become fourth, and it will be even more of a shame. I'm disgusted at this moment, and it's really terrible, really terrible.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It was so bad today. I took some notes, It took like 34 minutes or 33 minutes for us to create our first chance.
Yeah, the
So
Taylor chance. Yeah, really
yeah,
terrible.
and it was like in the 33 minute, I think, and he shot and one more chance from Bergwijn that half, and it
Yeah.
was done.
Uh,
It was like so pathetic because, in my view, PSV had a clear, tactic. They went for the crosses, tried to
yeah.
expose our wingbacks and put a cross in because they have that height in front of the goal. They
Yeah.
got their goal, and it was like, okay, now we're going to sit back and let them
Yeah,
come.
counter. Indeed, I mean, it was their perfect opportunity for them. It was their perfect game. For us, it's I don't know. I thought I've read that we conceded the most goals during a cross. So when a chance from from crosses, and that's ridiculous. I mean, Timber. I mean, who is Timber right now? Is it actually Timber who's playing? Is it his brother who's playing, or his nephew? Because this is not the Timber of last seasons. He is so playing with no confidence at all. Grealish was so bad as well. First half, I thought, okay, no tempo, but in second half, when he played as a center back, my plan was I thought Heitinga instructed them to dribble in, to create a man more in midfield. He did nothing. I don't know what the plan was from Heitinga, but everybody was really pathetic. Tadic with every wrong pass or every wrong received pass keeps on clapping. No, man, it's just shitty. Come on, where's the mentality? Where's the energy? Put in that energy instead of motivating with claps. I was so disappointed. No creativity. Heitinga not bring in Conceição, who is one of the players that stood out in the last weeks when he got in as a substitution or when he played at Young Ajax. Didn't get any chance, and then he brings in Luca in the final. I think six
Six
seven minutes.
minutes,
Well, we're already 3-0 down.
6 minutes, 84th minute, I think.
Yeah, and we were 3-0 down. What did Hadra expect? That he would score like one or two goals, or that we? I mean, it was already game over. And
So there's a discussion going on for a while now amongst the supporters, the Ajax fans. Should Heitinga stay on
yeah,
as a coach? Should there be another coach? It was clear that the players were very poor today, and it will
yeah,
reflect also within the grades that you gave that we will touch upon later.
yeah.
What did the coach do today? How did you value his performance, and what did he do right, and what did he do wrong, in your opinion?
Well, let's start what he did right because it's not a lot today. I think the lineup. I can relate to the lineup because there's not a lot that he could do. There was the discussion about playing Bassi or playing Bas and then Hato in central defense. You could argue. I mean, you could include Bassi because of his height, although that didn't work out today at all. Instead of Hato in center, and if you put in Bas, you would have like a really young, inexperienced defense against a more of an experienced attack with Luc de Jong and so on. So you could argue. So okay, we can give him the slack that this was the only lineup that he could bring in. But the way he was so reactive during the first half, we were so poor, but nothing changed. He kept on standing and then and watching, like he's watching a movie in a theater, and that should not be the case. Uh, so that was poor from his side, in my opinion. The change that he made, okay, I can relate to that. Taking Bessie out, putting a little bit more of energy, a little more of a risk in the gameplay, but we haven't seen anything. I mean, he could change puppets, but if you can't change the tactics or make the tactics work, it's not only the players, it also reflects to the coach, because the coach needs to be sure or needs to be clear in what he wants to see or what he wants the players to do, and it didn't show. So yeah, of course I blame him for that, and the late substitutions, not bringing in Conceição, not subbing Bergwijn because he was terrible as always. But I'm not trying to bash him only because the whole team didn't play well. I thought Bergwijn didn't really assist Hato when during the first goal, because he left him all alone trying to defend Bakayoko, while Bergwijn should have given
Backup.
a backup so he couldn't like cut in. But yeah, that didn't happen. And Hato is a young, inexperienced player, so he needs that help. Yeah, it was like a house of cards. Everything fell apart. No chemistry. The lack of creativity was so clear to see with that midfield. Taylor lost a lot of balls. He had some chances, but no creativity. Klaassen, you can't use Klaassen if you don't play until the final third, creating chances in the final third. So he was not usable as well. Tadic bringing into midfield didn't have an added value. Broby very poor, although he had some minor chances, or at least some chances,
Yeah,
opportunities.
I,
But
I disagree with you a bit on the Brobbey part, because for me it was more than clear that we should not play Tadic as a striker anymore from now on. If you play him on his left wing position, or do not play him at all, but not as a striker anymore, because you could see, at least with Brobbey in that position, you have a little bit more depth, and there were some chances there. I'm not saying that he did perfectly with executing
yeah,
those chances, but with Tadic, it's so static and there were no chances at all. So
yeah.
for me, you should play a true striker from now on that
I
position,
no,
and no Tadic anymore on the striker position.
no,
What do you
I
think about
agree.
that?
No, I agree with that. But then there's the devil's advocate, and there's the discussion all and on that's going on and on. If you don't play Tadic in the center, okay, because you want to use him as a sort of an umbrella, keeping the ball and then trying to get other players to play better or passing the ball. But if you play him on the left side, you would get that there's no speed, there's no depth, and so on. So either way, there's always a red flag when you play
I
Tadic.
understand, but he's Klaassen is not performing well on that 10 position. Bergwijn is, like you said, pretty poor on that left wing position. So either way, he could easily maybe take one of those positions instead of the players that are playing there now, because they're not delivering also, but not
No,
as a striker anymore, because we
no,
need a
yeah.
true striker.
As I said, one can argue. I'm not saying he's a striker for me. I'm not saying he's a left winger for me. I do say that he's decreasing
Yeah.
in his in what he can bring us, or what he brought us in the recent years. And of course, he's getting older and older. But yeah, we need to have some fresh blood. There is no quality. If you looked at the bench, there wasn't really specific player who could, besides Conceição, but he's still a young player, Who could help us out? We
I,
really
I
missed Kudus at this
definitely.
game.
I have some more questions for you because there's
Yeah,
so much to talk about. So
yeah, man.
I want to discuss some more things. We have to discuss the referee today, in my opinion, and we have to discuss what happened again with the crowd throwing things on the pitch because we cannot
Yeah,
ignore it. Because I think the play was like postponed for 15 minutes. First of all, that referee today. I know we should not find excuses, but you do
no, not
have
at
to
all.
discuss what happens on the pitch. What did you think about the ref today?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't consequent in his actions. I mean, it was quite poor refereeing, especially in the first half, whereby one player was injured and didn't stop the game, and then on the other hand, when a PSV player was injured, he stopped the game. So there was no equal.
Yeah,
There was no equal refereeing in that scenario. So
on top of that, the play was stopped immediately when Luke De Jong had an head injury in the
yeah,
16-yard box, but Tadic was there
Tadic.
for like a minute. Not only that, in the 6th minute, Sanchez got a yellow card immediately. But I saw some tackles today and
Yeah,
some fouls
yeah,
by
there was,
PSV, and especially that one in the 22nd minute by Sangare with
yeah, with two legs.
two legs
Wow.
in front of him. That should have been a
Yeah.
red card, in my
It could
opinion.
have easily been a far decision, easily.
Yeah,
So it's not
because I
maybe.
do not understand how those fouls, for example, that one from Sanchez, that was his first one. It was stupid by him, but he gave
Yeah,
immediately a yellow card. But this was not even a far moment. But that Sangare charge, luckily he didn't hit Tadic like full. But his
yeah,
intention, the ball was
it
gone, and
was.
it was two legs in front of him.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I do not
Definitely too late.
understand why these referees keep making those horrible decisions in negatively for Ajax, this season. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying this should be an excuse for us, but it's something that stand out. That stands out
No,
time after time, week after week, and it's something that we cannot ignore anymore, in my opinion.
no, no, no. 100%. I agree with you. I mean, it's a fact, and it should be noted. But as you said earlier, it shouldn't be an excuse. It shouldn't be an
No.
excuse. But we should ring the bell because this
Yeah.
is becoming more and more obvious now.
And then the things that are happening now in the eredivisie, the KNVB is treating it more harshly when the crowd, the supporters, throw things on the pitch. Today it happened
Yeah.
again. A PSV supporter threw something at Berghuis. Luckily, it didn't hit him, and the play was postponed for 15 minutes. What do you think about the situation at the moment at the eredivisie with all these matches being postponed permanently for a few days? Or for like a 50 minutes like today.
Yeah.
What is your opinion about the situation?
Yeah, I think we're going a bit too far. We need to take it on a case by case. Now it's quite clear. If you throw a beer, etc., there's no discussion. 50 minutes, cool off, and then go ahead. But I think we're going a bit too far because in every game, especially in the Netherlands, there's always the throwing of beer, always. So if you have to stop the game every time this happens, it's going to be ridiculous. And not only that, competitors can use that against you during games by throwing a beer and making sure that the game will be stopped for 15 minutes, for example. If you let's take an example. If Ajax was dominating against PSV, it would be easily to like throw in a beer and then stop the game for 15 minutes, and then you take them out of their rhythm. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but it's way too strict now, and I think it's more of a political thing or a media thing that the Dutch Association is becoming more strict. But yeah, I think we're going a bit too far on this.
Okay, that's clear. One last thing, bro. I saw your
Yeah, man.
grades. No average grades today, which is logical because we lost 3-0, but also no man of the match from you today. I know
Okay.
it's a hard pill to swallow because we lost and that second place is looking far, far away from now. But can you explain why you didn't give anybody a man of the match? Because this is something we do every time. So I'm very curious for your explanation.
Very clear. Nobody deserves it. Everybody was playing way below par. And don't get me wrong, PSV was shit as well, So that should say enough. PC was shit, and they won 3-0 what should that say about us?
In my opinion, I thought Hato was playing a decent match, especially for him being in the starting lineup for one of the first times. Being 16 years old. I think he handled himself quite well. I know that cross came from his side, but like you said earlier in the talk, Bergwijn abandoned him. But I saw
Yeah,
some positive things from him. So if I had to
yeah.
give it to someone today, it should have been Hato. But
yeah. You
he was
can
poor enough still for you to not
you can
blame
give
him.
it to him, but I mean, I'm judging the players not because not by their age or inexperience.
Hmm.
I'm judging about their play,
Yeah.
and I know what Hato's capable of. We saw it in the previous matches, and he didn't bring that the same quality or the same energy as as in last games, and it was quite poor. And his attacking part was also poor, and it's not one of his best assets. I know, uh, but if you have to look at the first half, it was not that great. In the second half, he did much better. You could see that not a lot of chances were created from that side. It was more on the Sanchez side with Simons, who got better and better in the second half. But yeah, if I have to choose, I mean, I'm not telling there is a man of the match,
No,
but if I have to say the better player of all of them, then indeed I would say Hato.
I agree. So last words, bro. Till next week, we we have the same matchup, but done in at the Kuip in Rotterdam.
Yeah.
But any hope, confidence left for that game, or is it like doom scenario from now on out?
Uh, the only hope that I got is um, Alvarez is back, so that's a good thing because we missed him a lot. The fact that Heinrich said that perhaps Kudus will be back, that will be magical because we need him. I'm not saying playing from the start, but the fact that he would be in the squad would already would lift up everybody 100%. So of course we need to stay confident. It's a final, and anything can happen. And we're not PSV is not playing at home. It's a 50% with regards to the fans.
Advantage. Yeah.
Yes, also the fans. So because
Hmm.
the stadium will be half packed with Ajax fans and half packed with PC fans. So yeah, I mean, we should not fall into the trap. That's the only thing we should not fall. And the crosses, we need to work on the crosses. And Alvarez literally needs to be in the center back, not in midfield, in the center back, because that's where the real fight will happen.